Hi guys, I'm Rhea.
And I'm Brandon.
And you are watching More Love
with R&B.
So we're going to discuss some of the do's and the don'ts that we feel is important when trying to get through marital conflicts.
Yep. So we're going to just jump into it, huh?
We always do.
Okay. So first one is for all my guys out there. And that one is don't leave. When you are presented with marital conflict, do not leave the house. I think there's so many better ways to resolve conflict. And I know, like, we all have that vision of, like, every 90s sitcom that we saw, like, if there was a mom and a dad, the dad would get all mad at his wife and go, "Oh, I'm tired of this," and he'd grab his jacket off the coat rack, which, do people have coat racks anymore? He'd grab his jacket off the coat rack and walk out the door. And I'm like, you're not gonna put your jacket on first? It's cold. It's not cool to, in your emotion, you're leaving the house and you're entering the world. Your house is supposed to be your refuge, your place of safety for husbands and wives, and you are leaving that place of safety in your stressed out, severely emotional state and going out into the world. Now I get it. Some guys are like, "Oh, but I need to go to the bar and get a drink, and that's how I unwind and I process and I can come back." I'm just saying you might want to find a better way to process. You might want to find a safer way to process. Find a way to maybe separate and give each other a safe space within the house so that you can calm down and, you know, kind of come down to a level where you can communicate effectively. But don't leave the house.
Absolutely. Which brings us to our next point.
The next point is going to be don't disrespect each other. It's just, if you're arguing back and forth and you guys are not seeing eye to eye on something, being disrespectful just, it's like, I have a pot of live slugs and here's a bucket of salt. Let's just see what happens. Like, the salt is the insults. Hey, pun. So, like, don't use this time to, you know, think about all the snaps that you can come up with, all the cracks and like, this is not a good time for that. Don't disrespect each other. We would even say, like, no name calling. This is not a time to bring up, if you're arguing about one thing, this is not the time to bring up something else that's totally unrelated. Don't cut each other off. I don't know any marriage that doesn't have yelling, so we're gonna let that one slide. We're gonna let that one slide. From us, you have permission to yell. It's just passionate dialogue.
Just don't disrespect.
Don't disrespect, yeah. So just be careful with more so just the name calling and any personal attacks. That's your spouse. You guys love each other. Be respectful.
Absolutely. My next point would be don't lie. And this can come in many forms. If I ask you what's wrong, tell me what's wrong. If I'm asking for your opinion or what you think, give your opinion. And if you're still trying to formulate it, then say, I'm still trying to formulate it. Don't lie and just give any kind of answer because you feel like that's what the person wants to hear. And don't say nothing. Like, don't say the word nothing, because that's not true. If you're in the middle of a conflict, you're definitely thinking about something and you definitely have an opinion about it. It may not all be processed, but you do have an opinion about it, and it's best to say what it is that your opinion is, as clear as you can possibly say it. Make sure that everything that you say is the truth, because then you can deal with it and your spouse can deal with it and you guys can hopefully move forward and build, which is kind of leading to my next point. Don't exaggerate. To me, I feel like that's also kind of like a lie, because when you use words like "you always" and "you never," like that's a lie, because it's probably not true. It's how you feel. And so you can use words like, "I feel like you never do these things." When you over-exaggerate, it kind of makes the person shut down because they know that it's not true. And so they can't really believe what it is that you're saying. And it's just not productive. So try your best, even though you may be very emotional, very passionate, try your best not to use exaggeratory or diminishing words.
Right.
And try your best to be as clear and focused and just straightforward as possible without the exaggerations.
Right.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the do's.
Yeah. We don't want to leave you hanging with all these don'ts.
Because that's a downer. Okay, so one thing that can be on your do list, something that you should do, is affirm each other. When you are in the middle of conflict, there's nothing more de-arming than telling someone truths about them, because sometimes the things that have brought us together with someone kind of get lost in the sauce when we're upset. We forget that this person loves us. We forget that this person is caring. We forget sometimes that we're fighting because we're so passionate about something, and we're forgetting the passion about each other.
Absolutely.
But sometimes when we're upset, we like to build all these things in our mind, when it'd be very, very helpful if you come back down to basics and you affirm one another by saying, by reinforcing your love, say, I love you, I trust you, we're on the same team. Affirming that we are on the same team. We may not be on the same page, but we're on the same team. And we are in this together. There's no one else in this but us. And so we have to figure this out. So one of the best things you can do is affirm someone.
That kind of brings me to my next point, is to be humble. When you go into a conflict, your walls are up, your guard is up, and you're very defensive. And your only objective is to win and to prove your point. And there is no way that anyone is going to win if you're both looking at each other as the enemy.
Right.
But if you're humble and you look at your spouse like they probably have something to say that is important, going into a conversation like that, even though you guys may not necessarily agree, there is something important that he or she needs to say.
True.
And if you come at it like, let me listen and let me humble myself and not let me think that I'm all right and everything that I say is right and you just need to listen, like, that's not humble. There's no way that you'll be able to effectively hear what your spouse is actually saying unless you humble yourself and say, my goal is to meet the need of my spouse. Well, these are some of the do's and don'ts that we feel are very important when dealing with marital conflict. We have not yet arrived or mastered any of these, but this is something that we know that we need to deal with whenever we deal with conflict, and we're hoping that this helps someone out there who's dealing with marital conflict or is about to get married and don't know how to accurately deal with conflict. We hope that some of these tips will help you in your journey with your spouse or soon-to-be spouse. So thank you so much for watching.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And please like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got some more stuff coming for you guys, so please subscribe. And let us know if there's any other advice that you guys want to give. Put it in the comments section. Any do's and don'ts of marital conflict that you would like to share. And maybe we'll do another one of these if we get enough sparking conversation.
Yeah.
All right, so we appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. I'll catch you later.
Bye, y'all.